What up, though, y'all? It's Chris broadcasting to you from the D post workout. About to get on up out of here and move on with the next portion of my day. We got a breaking situation. Unc Shay, apparently ESPN has parted ways with him. You got The Athletic and a couple other outlets that have broke this story. This is, maybe 2 weeks, maybe just under, since he settled that essay case with his ex-girlfriend. And you guys are probably wondering, why did ESPN decide to do this now? Why didn't they do this sooner? If I had to guess, it's because he was fighting it, and they were going to wait and see how this played out. Now, if he would have took this to court, fought this, and got a not guilty verdict, they probably would have brought him back on board because he has been acquitted in the court of law. Or in this case, it was civil, but you guys get what I'm saying. He would have beat it, which would have been very powerful. But he settled. And though that's not an admission of guilt, it's not the not guilty verdict that ESPN would have rather had in this situation. Him settling, it's not an admission of guilt, but it still looks bad to associate with that if you a brand like Disney. So I'm not surprised by this. I'm sure you guys are not. I've covered this extensively since it first happened. I've made quite a few videos. I've made enough videos talking about this to where I should have just made a damn playlist. But I talked about how, I felt sorry for Unc to a certain extent because he was getting taken for a ride. He got set up. I didn't believe he did anything wrong. I always believed from jump everything was consensual. It's just she had enough dirt on him to make life difficult for him. And she wanted to get paid. He wasn't trying to pay her. Instead, he ends up paying her, but now his reputation has been sullied, where it was kind of sterling. I mean, he did some weird stuff like, the pretending like he went on IG Live. We already know that's not true. The way he explained it, he threw his phone on his bed and it just automatically went on IG Live broadcast. We know that's not true. I don't even use IG Live. I have the app. I've never went on there accidentally. Throwing your phone and it going live, it's physically not possible. You have to go into the app and then go through a series of button presses. You have to do like 4 or 5 intentional button presses before you can go live. There's no way that that's going to happen just from you throwing it on your bed. So yeah, he's done a little sus stuff like that. It was kind of goofy, but never anything this serious. Stuff he did was stupid or corny, but he was never involved in anything where there was a serious allegation levied against him until now. And it was ultimately because Unc refused to do anything to protect himself. You had this 19-year-old girl or whatever. He wanted to bust her down, but he wanted her to sign an NDA. She refused, and he made the very bad decision, the fateful decision even, of choosing to deal with this very fickle young lady anyway without protecting himself and protecting his assets, and that's ultimately cost him. I mean, she went from charging him 25 G's per cheek to trying to get 25 million per cheek, because the lawsuit was for 50 million. But he had to step away from ESPN. We knew that really wasn't voluntarily. We know that it was because Disney is like, we can't be involved with this, bruh. This is bad for business. We are known as a family brand. Even though Disney themselves has been doing a lot of really goofy stuff as of late, especially with their family movies, they still want to believe they're this squeaky clean family brand. So they can't have a grown man in his 50s out there with allegations like this levied against him and still be associated with the brand, because then it looks like they're complicit or they're supportive in what he's alleged of doing, if you get what I'm saying. So I think Unc Shay will be okay. He settled this. There's still fallout from him settling it, but he'll be okay. He's a grinder. He's a hustler. He'll be okay. His reputation will never be the same, which is unfortunate because you could work your whole life to build a reputation and name and even brand for yourself, and some young thought can ruin that for you with a tweet. All right, a young thought can take a tweet and add in a clip of something y'all did together that's a bit freaky or something like that, throw that out there, or some text message receipt, throw that out there, and now everything for you is crumbled. You'll never be seen the same again in the public eye. Brands won't deal with you the same. They'll come back maybe later on down the line, but they won't be trying to offer you the same money that they were before when you was really at your peak, when you was really killing it. It's just it's something that we all have to learn from, learn from other people's mistakes when you can. Unc Shay made a series of mistakes here, and I think it would be terrible if we don't all look at this and learn from it of what you should and shouldn't do when you're a high-profile man. Even if you're not a high-profile man, there's still a certain way that you have to move when you're dealing with younger ladies or just some women in general. Because there's a lot of women out there that they don't mind being messy if it means that they gonna get a bag out of it in some sort of way. We got a situation here where we have a pastor of a mega church. Some ex-girlfriend of his then came out and she trying to be messy and throw him under the bus to sell some book. So you see what I mean? Like a lot of these women, they don't mind. I think the part that cracks me up about her, and I'm only gonna deviate from this for a second, is that she making it seem like, oh, she didn't know no better. She like, I came from LA. I'm not from Detroit. Detroit women is different. Y'all talking about y'all wouldn't have said nothing. Y'all know what it is. If he was doing this and that for you, y'all would have, been quiet, still been quiet, this and that. And I believe that is true, because there's a lot of women here in this city that know how to play their part. They know how to just shut up, be the side chick, get their bills paid, get money for their hair and nails, and buying, school clothes for their kids. They would have played their position and they would have kept their mouth shut. She trying to make it seem like Detroit women are professional 304s and that she's not because she's from LA. Stop it now. Stop it. You came from LA to Detroit a whole single mom. So stop trying to act like you were so naive and didn't understand anything. Just, stop it. But anyway, I digress. Just had to go down that road for a quick second. I'm just giving y'all an example of how you just got to be careful and watch yourself, man. If you are a well-to-do guy, watch yourself. If you are a guy that's grinding and you have a trajectory of being somewhere, don't wait till then to start covering your tracks. Be careful of the women that you are dealing with right now. If you're some guy that's like 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, whatever, and you on the grind, you have a trajectory where by the time you 40, you gonna really be somewhere, you gonna really be a mover or shaker. You just putting down the foundation for that, you putting in the grind hours for that. Start being careful now, because one of these fickle chicks that you dealing with now is gonna bring her dirty, messy behind out trying to expose you for clout and for some bag or something like that. Because boy, oh boy, when you were nobody and you turned into somebody, people love to be on some I knew them before type of stuff. And these messy chicks, they are not above putting you on blast, man. They will do it. They can do it. They will do it. Especially if they can find some sort of way to monetize it through a TikTok story time or something. Just got to be real careful, y'all. You're not making no money right now, so I get it. And you like ain't no sense in you giving anybody NDAs or whatever, but be careful as best you can. Y'all, stop saying a bunch of stuff in text messages. Stop saying a bunch of stuff on the phone. If you talking to somebody, and this is a mistake that Unc Shay made, if you talking to somebody on the phone and they start asking you questions that they never asked you before, you being set up, right? You are being put in a position to say some incriminating stuff that they record. I have no idea why Unc Shay was on the phone kicking it with some 19-year-old saying all this wild stuff. It's like, bro, she's some 19-year-old. Y'all have nothing in common. You got like 3 decades on this woman. Y'all got nothing in freaking common. Why you on the phone? You supposed to reach out to her. Hey, I'm coming to pick you up. She tell you if she available or not. And then y'all make the arrangement to you come pick her up then or whenever it is that she available. All that running off at the mouth, talking on the phone like he was doing, was just crazy, man. And then he let himself be set up where she had a compromising tape of them while they was in the act. Like, just no, man. He went to her house where it is legal for her to record. He went to her house, did this and that with her, and she recorded him. Nah, she's supposed to either come to your house or you get some sort of room. That way you're there already when she get there. All this is really disappointing because Unc Shay is supposed to be one of the teachers of the game. He's not supposed to be learning lessons like this. I understand that in the game, you a student to an extent all your life, but you shouldn't be in your 50s and you getting finessed to this degree. The type of mistakes that Unc Shay is making, those are the mistakes that I would expect some 19, 20-year-old rookie who just got in the, he just got into the league to be making, dealing with these women. Not no dude that is like the internet uncle or wants to be seen as an internet uncle. So I'm gonna leave it there though, you guys. This went on a little bit longer than I was intending. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. Hit me in them comments. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.